said, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-dum. Steins was the sheriff, and Ben Fields was his deputy. Steins was the sheriff, Letcher County down in Kentucky. Oh no, oh no, Kevin Mullins was good friends with me. We had lunch, don't you know? But I shot him dead on court TV. Yes, I shot him down. I say, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. Steins was the sheriff, and Ben Fields was his deputy. Steins was the sheriff, Letcher County down in Kentucky. All the bailiffs down in my hometown have a deal, don't you know? They get paid with different currency. So I shot him down. I say, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. Steins was the sheriff, and Ben Fields was his deputy. Steins was the sheriff, Letcher County down in Kentucky. All the bailiffs down in my hometown have a deal, don't you know? They get paid with different currency. So I shot him down. I say, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. Steins was the sheriff, and Ben Fields was his deputy. Steins was the sheriff, Letcher County down in Kentucky. Claiming sexual battery. For what? I don't know. Sandra Atkinson went and blabbed on me. So I shot him down. I say, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. Steins was the sheriff, and Ben Fields was his deputy. Steins was the sheriff, and when my daughter would not answer me, then I shot him down. I say, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, da-da-dum. Steins was the sheriff.
Well, let me tell you, you are very, very glad that microphone was muted. Good morning, good evening, good night, good day, afternoon, wherever it is you is from. Welcome. Hello, Miss Elizabeth. Have you been naughty? Did you miss me? It feels like it's been forever since I've been here. It's been forever. Well, it feels that way anyway. So what happened? I actually went up and spent a week up in Queensland with my mum, who's in her late 70s and hasn't been very well. So, and I had planned to cover the complete Donna Adelson trial prior to my departure. But 24 hours in one day is not enough time for me to do all my shit. I have discovered. Oh, you're welcome, Christine. You're welcome. I don't know how often I'll be able to get over there, but I shall do my best to come and do it. I hope everything is going well over there for you. Are you nearly up to your 1,000 subscribers? Oh, that's boring. Oh dear. Now, I think our kids are just about to go on school holidays. Are yours on school holidays, or are they just back, or where are they? My kids obviously don't go to school anymore. But I couldn't even tell you if it was a school term day or not unless I go out at about 3:30 in the afternoon, which would be a doctor's appointment. Nothing exciting. So, where is Miss Tricia? I'll have to get onto her. Did you watch the Adelson trial? The Donna one? Donna Adelson, obviously. The latest. What is it? 4? The 4th? Yes, the two hitmen, Katie, Charlie, and Donna. It's 5. Oh, it's done. It's all over. Spoiler alert. Yeah. On all counts. And her sentencing's, I don't even know if it's been dated yet. I haven't even had a chance to look. I've been doing deep dives on this on the Kentucky case with the sheriff shooting the judge. Wow, just wow, the shit that's coming out of that. Holy crap. But we'll get to that. I thought we would quickly just cover the last of Donna's. We'll do a quick overview of her case. Basically, if you've been living under a rock like Elizabeth and don't know what has gone on, this is a case that was back, I think, in 2014. So Donna is the matriarch of the Adelson family. The family own a dental clinic with her husband Harvey being the dentist and her son Charlie being the periodontist, which was the surgical dentist. And he travelled around as well as worked within the family dentist clinic. Now, 3 children. The eldest was Rob. He was smart. He got out and left home before he turned 18 and stayed away. Jewish family. Very strict beliefs. And Donna had very, very strict guidelines. You've kept up with them. So, yeah, basically she had expectations of all of her children. Charlie was the middle and Wendi was the baby, or is the baby. Wendi filed for divorce from her husband and father of her 2 kids, Dan Markel. And it's been debated as to whether it was a contentious divorce or not. I think that the defense actually called an expert witness in family law who glazed over a lot of the pleadings, didn't touch base on it, and misled a little bit as to some of the things. Like, she claimed that that Dan had requested full parental rights for decision making, and the family expert came up and said, well, that's very rarely granted unless the other parent is unable to, physically or mentally cope with the decisions, basically, which is a load of bullshit. So anyway, as it goes, Wendi, I think, played the situation more than anything. So made herself out to look like this damsel in distress, this victim to the family, or to at least the mother, who then related to the brother. And he's the fixer. Yeah. So basically, he fixed the problem by organising someone to unalive him. Not very smart, because the people, he asked his girlfriend for the recommendation for a start. Might want to rethink who you're seeing, just saying. Yeah, they were absolutely crap at code talk. Like, holy shit. And I really think that Wendi basically pulled the strings. I think she was a puppeteer. I think she knew damn well. Hello. hello. Hubby's day off. Yoo-hoo. Does he do a 9-day fortnight, T? We have the most beautiful spring weather here. It is lovely. Oh, hang on. Oh, I missed Christine's one too. Un momento per favore. Ready? Go.
Come on in, don't be shy, don't stall. We got a funky vibe. Woo! Defense, that's where you belong. Click that like and groove along. Hit subscribe, let the love flow free. Join the fam where you're meant to be.
Oh, gotta play it again. Hang on.
Come on in, don't be shy, don't stall. We got a funky vibe. Woo! Defense, that's where you belong. Click that like and groove along. Hit subscribe, let the love flow free. Join the fam where you're meant to be.
This one is for Elizabeth. Bippity boppity ho. Yep. Righto. So, was anyone surprised by said verdict on Donna Adelson case? Anyone? No? No, I didn't think so. And, oops. Hang on. Oh, shit. What have I done? I'm back. I'm here. Okie doke. Yes, guilty on all counts. No, not at all. Who else thinks that Wendi knew absolutely everything and was a puppeteer? Because I do. Absolutely. Now, I didn't think so. So, there is a couple of things that I found, especially in the ex-boyfriend's testimony, Jeffrey Lacoste, that could be possible indicators of her knowledge and involvement. Absolutely, I think she is too, yes. Yep, I think she'll be on her way to Vietnam just about now. So, in his direct examination, Jeffrey Lacoste, her ex-boyfriend, said that Wendi confided to him that Charlie had looked into hiring a hitman for $15,000. Apparently, that was on day 3 of the trial, and describing her as chilling and dead serious when making this admission. Now, they glossed over it in the trial. Pretty much, she presented as this, innocent little damsel, played off her mother and brother against one another to fix her problems, and basically walked away scot-free. Maybe. But just so happened that the morning of the murder, in the driveway of her ex-husband's home, who had been looking after both of their children, she drove that street that morning and was blocked off by police. It was cordoned off, and not one phone call did she make. Not one to anyone. Shit, this is where my ex-husband lives. Shit, what's going on? Are my children okay? Bow. No, not so much. So there was also the fact that she was demanding that they return home from their travel plans the day of the murder, and he didn't know. It didn't make any sense with whatsoever with him. She also told him that the only way she would relocate if something happened to Danny. Then there was apparently a post-murder celebration reaction A post-murder family celebration dinner. Apparently, Wendi vomited, and Charlie made a comment suggesting possible emotional distress related to the knowledge. What else did she do? She did more than that. Oh, the name changes. Righto. Let's wipe him right off. And the poor bugger, he lasted, 11 hours? 11 hours. That's just cruel. Cruel. Yes, she made the detour driving past the crime scene on the way to a liquor store. And it shows apparently she stood to gain approximately 2.7 million in total financial benefits from his death. There you go. So, all right. So, I wanted to just play her verdict, like her reaction to the verdict, because she ain't a silly woman, and I'm sure as shit she was not surprised. I think she was afraid and scared, but there is no way that she was surprised. And the tears, didn't see one of them. I saw the fake tears, didn't see anything rolling down her face. Let's have a look. Helps if you share it, Jodie. That one. Add to stage. Oh. What have I done? Remove that. Add to stage. Okay. Where's that one? Ta-da! And ready, please, Mr. Music.
A unanimous verdict. If you please can hand the verdict form to the bailiff.
That's not very loud. Just check the settings on that monitor. I think it might be to the speaker. Come on. Yes, it is. Thank you. And start again. Yeah, that's better. I love this judge. I love him.
Having reviewed the verdict form, it is in its proper.
How good would he have been in the Karen Reid trial? No BS.
Order. At this time, I will publish the verdict. We, the jury, find as follows as the count one of the indictment, first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So just have a look just before that verdict of the word guilty is read. Watch her eyes close. So she's bracing herself. Go back. See? Eyes closed.
Reviewed the verdict form. It is in its proper order. At this time, I will publish the verdict.
Eyes closed.
We, the jury, find as follows as the count one of the indictment, first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder. Mrs. Adelson, control yourself. Count two. We, the jury, find as follows as the.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. No tears. No tears. What is it? So, apparently, your eyes generally open right up if you're surprised. Didn't happen, according to Dr. G. So she wasn't entirely surprised by the verdict, and then the performance begins. After the verbal outbursts, she's got a very good capacity to perform and act out, and that's pretty much what she's doing here. apparently there is some evidence of sadness. Well, yeah, and anger. And I didn't realize, but I think she had her hands handcuffed. We just like when she lifts them up, see if you can see. I'm pretty
We, the
sure.
jury, find as follows as the count one of the indictment, first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder.
Ready?
Mrs. Adelson,
Yeah. See that
control
together?
yourself.
Yeah,
Count
absolutely.
two, we, the jury, find as follows as the
Absolutely.
count two of the indictment, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree
Oh my
murder.
God. Oh my God.
Count three, we, the jury, find as follows as the count three of the
Not a tear.
indictment, solicitation to commit first-degree murder. The defendant is guilty of solicitation to commit first-degree murder.
It's because you're crap at code words, lady.
And it is signed and dated by the foreperson. One moment. Members of the jury, the bailiff will
Now,
escort you to the jury.
I really like this judge, and he absolutely did the right thing here, because it's hard enough for the jury to make that decision and know that you're responsible for it, and to have that reaction. She is a selfish woman.
Mrs. Adelson, while this was not the outcome I'm sure that you desired, there will not be any further outbursts in front of the jury. If you cannot control yourself,
You will
I am
leave.
going to have to determine if you will be removed from the remainder of this process. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Do you need a moment to collect yourself? Before the jurors are brought back in, we will take a brief 2-minute break. Please give her tissues if she needs them.
So according to Dr. G, crying without tears is a key indicator of inauthenticity, and it suggests a manipulative tactic to elicit sympathy.
When the
Really?
jurors are brought back into the room,
No.
does the defense wish to have the jurors polled before
Of course
they
they
are
do.
discharged? Yes, Your Honor.
And if Donna was surprised, she was the only one at that table that was. Simple as that. So now I've gone over Wendi, but I really want to I really want to go into a bit more of a deep dive on her parenting and the influence her parenting and her behavior has on her children. I need to. I've actually been watching this this great psychotherapist, psychoanalyst, whatever. I can't remember what she's called, but well, I do know what her name is. It's. Let me see if I can find it. She is Samantha Beningo, and she's I Don't Belong Here. And she has basically broken down the entire Karen Reid trial. Let me just see if I can find it. She's amazing. I don't belong here. It takes a little bit to get used to her voice because she talks very much like this, and everything is very succinct, and that's how it goes. But once you get past that, and I technically play it on 1.25 speed, that works for me. Yep. Where do we go? There we go. I don't belong here. I'll pop her. I'll pop her link in the chat because she's awesome. Oh, she has got an email address there. Sweet. I really want her to come on and go over I want her to analyze Donna Adelson's parenting and Jose Menendez's parenting and how that impacted the behavior of the children. Yeah. All I need to do is invite her, though. That helps. There we go. There's her. Doesn't look like a link. Shit. Try that one. Oop. Ah. My hands are useless. Okay, this one should work. So, there you go. Yes, she is currently now doing the Adelson case, which is it's amazing. And the stuff that she did, if you actually go and watch her analysis on Paul O'Keefe and Peggy O'Keefe and why they are so ingrained in the fact that they believe Karen is guilty and the reasoning behind it. And she does a really good explanation of confirmational bias, using him as the example and his interview post first trial verdict. So, yeah, have a squiz at some of these because she's got an amazing insight. Amazing. What's that? Yes, Caitlin Albert did lie her face off. Let's see what she has to say.
So for weeks now, I've been trying to release a video, an analysis of Caitlin Albert's testimony. Every word she utters is bullshit. Every word. So now that I am utterly convinced the entire statement is garbage, trying to figure out what she really is saying is taking way longer than I ever thought it would. So it's coming.
Longer than I thought.
But know this. Every word that Caitlin Albert utters in her testimony is contrived. It is garbage, soup to nuts, a story, a manufactured story that is well scripted. And guess who probably scripted
Brian
that testimony?
Who else?
It's coming. I will get it out eventually. I promise.
That's what she said. Sorry, my bad. All right, now let's get this shit off the back. That's enough of her. We don't want that. We want some Letcher County, Kentucky style updates. Thanks, Teresa, for getting me hooked on that. There has been a few updates and some more documents that came out over the last couple of days, which I have in my hot little hands. It's mainly the apparently Kentucky is one of the very few states where the prosecution can actually request a change of venue. And of course, the defense don't want the change of venue because the crime scene is the church, is the courtroom that it's in. And yes, so they are requesting a change of venue. There's also some, so Mickey's defense attorney is trying to get his psych evaluation unsealed and presented in a bond hearing. And the prosecution don't want it because they have viewed it. And also one of the people that testified at the grand jury stated that Mickey was was of sound mind at the time. And they want to impeach him on it. So, and apparently, a little bit of gossip. Mickey's grand jury testimony accidentally got uploaded with some public court documents and was available for lots of people to download. His grand jury indictment transcript. Yeah, so that's floating around out there somewhere too. But when I first watched this, and here we go, I'll put up, I've got the last 24 seconds of the video. Have you seen this, this Liz? The sheriff shooting down near Teresia? I'm looking at my history. I was watching some funny shit last night. All right, cool. Now, I've been analysing who's where and who's what in the Kentucky 67th Judicial Circuit Court, where this all went down. Who's who in the zoo? And in particular, I wanted to know a little bit more about this preacher man. So, Michael Clark is the preacher. Now, the people who practiced in that courtroom under Judge Mullins, under or with. So we have a special prosecutor, Jackie Steele. Actually, I think I've probably got this listed. I can show you. I don't know, I saved it somewhere. Yes. S for Sherriff. All files. Here's, if anyone wants his court number, docket number, and where to search for anything, I'm happy to share that. Where the fuck did I save it? I'm good, aren't I? I can't even fucking find it. And I spent ages this afternoon tidying up my documents. Oops. Oh, well. I've got lots and lots of bits of stuff that I've got to pull together. So I've sort of got them everywhere because there's so much. There's all the Sabrina Atkins stuff and all of her filings. And then there's the Ben Fields stuff and then his arrest and then his plea dealings and then his treatment in jail and, you know, his special allocation and just, and I'm trying to tie it all together because there has been lots of women now coming forward. No, I can't find it. Making the same allegations about the schmexual misconduct. And I at first thought that Mickey was involved because it basically Ben Fields, who was the defendant he was the bailiff under Mickey, who Mickey had to go and do the deposition for 3 days before he shot the judge, because he was subpoenaed to do so, being Ben's boss. Now, Ben took Mickey's old job, because Mickey was the one who was responsible for all the ankle monitors and the maintenance of such for the home detention people. So what's gone on is that Ben has used that position of power, and those women or whoever who could not afford to pay for their monthly ankle monitor or whatever it may be, he would come up with a deal for them. And they wouldn't have to wear it at all. But the drawback with that is if by chance one of the judges, and not Judge Mullins, he was in on that, but if any of the other judges wanted to know where one of these people were at any one time and they didn't have their ankle monitor on, he would basically just say they've absconded and dob them in. But that was one of their scams. They also had control over the drug court. So they would put these people through drug court, and then they would supply them, when they came out, they would supply them with drugs, get them back into their addiction, and then use that against them, because obviously they couldn't pee clean whilst they were using for their parole. They would hold that over them to keep them there and do whatever they wanted. And that extended as well to the family court division, where they would involve CPS and hold that over them, and threaten to take their children and take their children away from them should they need to. Now, there was Michael Clark is the pastor, and he was one of the people in the room that day. He was the one sitting on the windowsill. And I wanted to know what his job was, where he comes from, what made him tick, and So he's actually he was born and raised in Harlan County, Kentucky, and in a working class family. His father was a coal operator and his mother was a nurse. So it wasn't like he was the poor kid on the tracks. He had, a decent house and a decent family. He attended the University of Kentucky, nearly completing his degree before addiction to OxyContin derailed his path. By 2003, he had spiraled into full-blown substance use disorders. So, because of that, he has 7 felony drug trafficking offences, and has served a total of about 8 years in jail. So he's a convicted felon and drug trafficking. Now, that's pretty handy when, you have drug court and you may need to have contacts to supply said drugs to said victims. Just saying. And according to his timeline, once he did a stint for 5 years and then a stint for 3 and got out in 2019. And funnily enough, he got a full pardon without even asking for it. Poof, gone. Just like that. So after that, he turned his life around and became a gladiator for drugs. He began reading the Bible, all right, attending the church services and then leading prison Bible studies. And that December, he committed himself to faith and began his transformation. He gave himself to the Lord, all right. Apparently, he's now been sober for 9 years. He returned to the University of Kentucky to complete his degree and apparently his master's, allegedly. What else did he do? He earned a ministerial certificate from Kentucky Christian University. Good for him. And eventually granted a full pardon. And now he is an ordained minister. He leads a church and he lives a stable family life. So he basically is the outreach coordinator in Letcher County for the Addiction Recovery Care Program, or ARC as it's known. And he's a peer support specialist. And his job was to collaborate closely with Judge Mullins and reviewing their court dockets and placing eligible defendants in treatments instead of jail. Treatments. What else? He's credited with helping at least 67 individuals transition to a recovery program. He speaks at schools. He supports public outreach with the Letcher County Sheriff's Office and is widely profiled for his faith-driven redemption and service. Look at him. He is an upstanding citizen. What can I say? From incarceration and addiction to leadership and healing. Yeah, he's that's been blown up a little bit, I reckon, just quietly. So Judge Mullins, he was born in June 25, 1970, so he was a year and a half older than me, in Pikeville, Kentucky. He's lived in Letcher County with his wife Kimberly and their daughter Maya and Ava, and a member of the Hemphill Church of Christ. He earned his BA in political science with distinctions from the University of Kentucky, and his JD from the University of Louisville Brandeis School of Law. He was admitted to the Kentucky Bar in 1995 and served as assistant Commonwealth attorney. His judicial career, he was appointed by Governor Steve Besher. Felix, come on. They can hear you being a poofter, you know. Come on. Yeah, they can hear you. Yeah, you're live. Lala. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, they can hear you. And they can see you now. Yeah. As soon as I'm out of sight, someone wants attention. Plus, I've been away and he's super sooky. Aren't you? Hey. Kiss. Not that bit. This other bit. He's my boy. Yes. Somebody missed their mum. Oh, you're going to knock everything over, aren't you? Aren't you? He's my beautiful boy. Get off it. Get off it. My keyboard. So, where was I? Anyway, the point of it is that Mickey did know about what was going on, but really he couldn't do a great deal about it because who do you complain to? The judge. And yeah. So once crap. Once Sandra's case exposed everything and Ben took a plea deal and was convicted of the allegations, Mickey, it was coming out. And Mickey was subpoenaed, as I said, to testify, and he had to do his deposition 3 days prior to the shooting. And that's one of the things that triggered him. Now, there was a district attorney, I can't remember his name, who was present during that deposition. He wasn't representing Mickey. He just sat in on it. And I think it was more of a intimidation tactic than anything. And he is the one that's said to have threatened him and or his wife and daughter should he say anything to anyone about it. So, and apparently it also reported to Judge Mullins that after the deposition that Mickey was losing it. So I don't think Mickey knew what to do or who to turn to. And whilst I was looking up the preacher, who is in it up to his eyeballs, I'm sure. He ain't no preacher. Apparently 2 days after the shooting, he got onto his Facebook and started telling everyone that he's been speaking to the judge's family. I have to get some magnesium. So have a look at.
Been a real rough night and day since yesterday. You all, I'm sure, have known and seen nationwide now what all happened. Multiple news agencies continue to reach out to me. I'm not going to be able to comment to them or anything like that, but I have spoken to the sheriff's wife and daughter and talked to her a couple of times today. And, you just really need to be praying and quit gossiping and spreading rumors, because you're going to be really surprised when absolutely nothing that you've been posting and saying is true.
How the hell does he know what's going on? It's like he's giving everyone an insight into what's coming out. How the hell would he know?
True or accurate. And I have permission from the family to say that. Mental illness is real. People go through hard things that we don't know what they're going through. Bottom line, one of my best, closest, dearest friends, Judge Mullins, was killed yesterday, and one of my best, closest friends, Sheriff Mickey Steins, is locked up and charged with murder. The motive and everything will come out, and everyone will eventually know why. And it's not going to be nothing, the reason that not you, but many are spreading and talking and hurting children. That the judge has a wife and children that's hurting. The sheriff has a wife and a child who I've spoke to twice today who are truly hurting. I love you all. I love Letcher County. I'm there every day. I work there. I've got a church there. My heart is there. And what this community needs is prayers, kindness, and mercy. And if you do not know and don't have firsthand knowledge of something, why in the world would you get on there spreading lies and rumors? I don't get it. I don't get it. And you ought to be ashamed, because there's a little girl of the sheriff's that's devastated by these rumors. And there's also little girls who lost a father. And we need to think about that. Continue to pray for everyone that was involved. Thank God for the first responders that was there within minutes. Thank God for protecting me, who was with the sheriff all day yesterday, and the judge. And thank God, by the grace of God, that I'm alive. And just pray for our community, for healing to come about. I love you all. God bless you all. And have a great day.
Yeah. Idiot. Sorry. Hang on. Both legs are cramping up on me. Bastards. Share screen. Come on. I just found Brian Enton has an update on his daughter. Shit. Don't do it. I don't want that. I want that. No. What was that? He sent inappropriate pics. Oh, did he? Ew. Ew. Well, yeah, he's been in jail 8 years, for 8 years, and he's got 7 drug felonies. So who do you think was supplying all the drugs, Tricia? All right, so I'll pop this on because I haven't seen it yet, and it's Brian Enton talking about Sheriff's daughter says she didn't have contact with the judge that her dad unalived. Have a look at this, and I'm going to go and get my dissolvable magnesium so that I can actually move. I'll be back.
That was done on the sheriff when he arrived at the jail, and they say that he was in a psychosis and that he even had to be pepper sprayed. That's all new. Also, I got a copy of the grand jury testimony, which is very, very unusual to get your hands on. Normally very secret, where it's explained that the judge...
That was leaked. It was apparently uploaded with some court filings to the public court system, and they got Mickey Stein's grand jury testimony.
Did not have a relationship with the sheriff's daughter or wife. That was a rumor initially. We tried to dispel it early on, but now we've got the grand jury transcript, which I'm going to go through. I'm getting into all of it in this edition of Brian Enton Investigates. Hey guys, so I have a ton of new information when it comes to the Sheriff Stein's investigation. Sheriff Stein's, of course, Mickey Stein's, is the sheriff from Letcher County, Kentucky, who is accused of murdering the judge in Letcher County, Kentucky, Judge Kevin Mullins. It was all caught on surveillance video. There was body camera video from after that showed the sheriff being arrested. There's still so many questions about why this happened. Allegations of a secret sex ring involving the judge, him making people in trouble basically have sex with him to get out of trouble, have sex with him right in the judge's chambers. Those are some of the accusations. And then questions about what the sheriff knew and whether that had anything to do with why he murdered the judge. Now, also a major focus on Sheriff Stein's mental health during the time of the event and what could have driven him to do that. And I now have the mental health assessment that was done. This came out as part of a new court filing, and I hadn't seen this yet. And this is the mental health assessment that was done shortly after Sheriff Stein's was taken to jail. They did an assessment, and it shows that he definitely was not in his right mind. Let me read you some of this here. This is what they wrote in the evaluation form. It says, upon evaluation of Mr. Steins, it appears that he is still in an active state of psychosis. So they actually said he was in a state of psychosis. He appears disoriented and is only aware of things jail staff tell him. He has no recollection of the recent past. He does not report that he has some, he does report that he has some paranoia because he is unsure where he is and is told he is incarcerated. So they're saying he didn't even know where he was. He does not appear to understand his charge and is unaware of his surroundings. He denies any suicidal and homicidal ideations. He does present to be responding to internal stimuli during the evaluation. Mr. Steins should continue at high risk level. So they considered him a high risk level when he came into the jail, the sheriff. He has had episodes of combativeness, which has required pepper spray. And that's the first that I've heard of that, that they had to use pepper spray on the sheriff when he got to the jail because he was in this state of psychosis. And they say it is recommended that he be evaluated again within the next 24 hours. Mr. Steins has recently agreed to take risperidone, 1 milligram, 2 times daily. This began this morning. We will evaluate effectiveness on symptoms when re-triaged. So the takeaway, though, is that they said he's in an active state of psychosis, and it was apparently so bad that they had to pepper spray the sheriff when he actually got to jail. So now the attorney for Sheriff Steins, his defense attorney, has filed this new motion essentially trying to get the indictment thrown out, the grand jury indictment. It was a grand jury that met, which grand jury, of course, is just regular people who meet to decide whether to pursue charges. They get evidence from the prosecution. And the defense attorney, and this is new, is asking for that indictment to be thrown out because he is claiming that this mental health information, partly what I just read you, this evaluation from jail and other things, were not included in the grand jury testimony. When the detective testified to the grand jury, the defense attorney is claiming that a lot of this mental health information was not included and that the grand jury didn't get a good picture of just how disturbed the sheriff actually was. In the motion, it says Detective Clayton Stamper testified to multiple false statements before the Letcher County grand jury. The testimony prejudiced Mr. Steins and resulted in an indictment. The case was presented to the grand jury approximately 2 months after the defendant's arrest and preliminary hearing. And there's a lot Sheriff Steins' attorney says the detectives knew about Sheriff Steins' diminishing mental health, but they didn't tell the grand jury. Even that the sheriff had talked about a concern that someone was going to kill his wife and daughter and was going to get a bulletproof vest. Again, something new I didn't know. These reports that the sheriff was so paranoid ahead of this shooting with the judge that he even talked about getting a bulletproof vest, something that did not come in during the grand jury testimony. In the grand jury testimony, the detective actually testified that Sheriff Steins was in his right mind. And by the way, when I talk about grand jury testimony, this is normally extremely secret. I don't think in any of the cases I've covered, I've ever got my hands on grand jury transcripts. And what's interesting is we have at least a big chunk of the grand jury transcripts in this case because they were released as part of this filing from the defense. And I think what happened is they were released, we got them, a lot of other media got them, and then it seems they quickly realized that, oh shoot, we accidentally released the grand jury transcripts and they've taken them off the website from what I can tell, but they've been reported on now. I've now got my hands on them. And so we've actually got the transcripts of what was said during the grand jury testimony. And that's how we know that a lot of this mental health information was left out, that the grand jury, they had questions, by the way, but that a lot of their questions went unanswered, that they did not include a lot of the information that they had about Sheriff Steins' mental health in the grand jury proceedings. The grand jurors asked for all of Steins' medical records, and they were only read a snippet from the doctor that he saw the day before the shooting, which did not include the doctor's diagnosis. And additionally, the grand jurors specifically subpoenaed all of Mickey Steins' health records from the jail and were not given them prior to or during the grand jury proceedings, from what we can tell from the transcripts. Also, there's some new clarity on another issue that came up, really a rumor that started shortly after the sheriff shot and killed the judge. And it's sort of still been circulating about whether the judge had some kind of communication with the sheriff's daughter or the sheriff's wife, and whether that could have something to do with the motive. And apparently that is not true. We reported early on that it seemed just like a rumor, but now there is more information from the grand jury testimony that this was just a rumor. You remember shortly after Sheriff Steins shot Judge Mullins to death, he was seen on video talking with Mullins and then using Judge Mullins' phone to make a call. And it was later revealed that the call had been to his daughter, whom the sheriff had failed to reach earlier after calling on his own cell phone. What's interesting is he used the judge's cell phone, and you can see this on video. He takes the judge's cell phone and he used the judge's cell phone to call his daughter. At a preliminary hearing before the grand jury proceedings, Detective Stamper testified about this. And I'm going to read you this part of the grand jury transcript. And again, it's so rare for us to have these transcripts, but they were released publicly. This part specifically talks about that rumor, again, that was circulating that perhaps something between the judge and the sheriff's daughter may have caused all of this. So basically, the prosecutor asks, and this is again in front of the grand jury, to the detective, Detective Stamper, throughout your investigation, have you become aware of some speculation in the community involving Judge Mullins and the daughter of Sean Steins? And the detective says, I have. And what is Sean Steins' daughter's name? And then they give the name, which I'm not going to give.
Yeah.
How old?
Detective Stamper, he was the one that actually, so what the defense attorney, Mickey's defense attorney, is trying to do, he's trying to get the psych evaluation unsealed at a bond hearing and have experts testify to say that, because they've officially applied for the mental health defense. What do you call it? Insanity defense. They've officially put that in a motion, and they've also put a motion for, as I said, this bond hearing to unseal that and present it as evidence, because this particular deputy, what did they call him? Stamper or something like that. Apparently, he denied and said that Mickey was fine after the shooting. So they want to present this in that bond hearing.
Old, 17, I think, or 16. She's in high school. Okay, I'm not sure. She's a juvenile. Has she been interviewed? And they say she has. And was she specifically asked about the speculation in the community? And they say she was. And what was her response? She denied any allegations of having any contact whatsoever with Judge Mullins. So this is the daughter. And by contact, what do you mean? By social media, by text, by phone, in person, any kind of contact whatsoever. She denied it. Did she deny any sort of relationship? Any? Yes. That was all just a rumor. This is what the detective is saying. Okay, did you ask the wife of Sean Steins about this? Yes, she was asked the same questions. There were also rumors about her having some kind of relationship with Judge Mullins, and she denied those allegations. Was she specifically asked about whether or not she had any knowledge of her daughter and Judge Mullins having any sort of relationship? Yes, the detective said. And what was her response to that? That was not true. Okay, now as part of your investigation, did you become aware of the daughter's phone number? I did. And did you also obtain and examine Judge Mullins' cell phone? I did. Did you also obtain and examine Judge Mullins' phone records for the cell phone? Yes. Based upon your review of those records thus far and the phones thus far,
Who did he call?
Does there appear to be any communication between Judge Mullins' phone and the daughter's phone? And then they say none whatsoever. Was there a call between the two of those numbers on September 19th, 2024, between the daughter's number and Judge Mullins' number on the day of the shooting? And they say there was. Okay, and based on your investigation, were you able to determine the source of the call? Yes, Sheriff Steins used Judge Mullins' phone while he's sitting in the chair in front of Judge Mullins' desk to call his own daughter. So there was a call
Why?
from the judge's phone to the sheriff's daughter, but it was the sheriff making that call using the judge's phone.
Yeah.
Was her
Why?
phone number stored in the judge's phone? It was not. Is there any way to retrieve any of it, anything deleted off the phone? Yes, there's ways. What about social media like Snapchat, any other types? There's no evidence, the detective says. Is that traceable? Yes, it's traceable. There's no any evidence of any kind of communication with them. And then a juror asks, with the comment you made earlier that one of the deputies said they were trying to steal the family, what was the cause of that? And then the prosecutor says, I guess so in the interviews with the daughter and wife, sorry, some of this is confusing with the transcript. Were there any concerns about their own personal safety? And then the answer is no. So the detective is saying no, there was not. They did not have concerns about their personal safety.
Might not have been aware.
Was there any way to corroborate any sort of statement that they had been kidnapped based on what was being said? And no, they actually did not. So basically, here they're shooting down this rumor, which went rampant in the beginning, that the motive for this shooting was that the sheriff was upset because the judge had some kind of relationship with his daughter, and his daughter now and his wife are both saying that is not true. That has come out crystal clear in this new grand jury testimony. So if you remember, Sheriff Steins walked into the judge's chambers and asked all the other folks in the chambers to leave. This was all on video so that he could have a private word with the judge. And the interaction, there's this surveillance camera so you can see it. But this is important. The video had no sound. And the reason there was video in the judge's chambers, a lot of people have asked me that. Is it normal for there to be surveillance cameras in the judge's chambers? How did we get this video? The reason that there is video is because they, by the way, it's not normally allowed under Kentucky late law, but there was this federal civil lawsuit that was filed by an inmate in the Letcher County Jail saying that she was forced to have sex with a sheriff's deputy in Judge Mullen's chambers or would have to go to jail. And she had sex because she wanted to stay on home arrest and to go to drug rehab. And following the filing of that lawsuit, there was this deputy, Ben Fields, who was arrested for rape. I know there's so much here, by the way. I know there's so much to this story and there's so many layers, but just bear with me. The deputy was arrested, Ben Fields, for rape, having sex with the inmate in the judge's chambers, who was unable to consent. And Fields was convicted of rape 3, served almost 6 months in jail. And the federal lawsuit, it remains ongoing right now with settlement stocks at a standstill. However, through the federal lawsuit, investigators questioned the alleged victims of Ben Field. As part of this federal lawsuit, again, they questioned witnesses, potential victims, and one of those women who they interviewed, again, as part of the federal lawsuit, which the sheriff was going to have to testify about, one of the women that they interviewed talked about seeing a video of the judge, not just the deputy, not just Ben Fields, but the judge having some kind of sexual relations in his chambers. Listen, we have part of that interview that was done as part of this whole investigation. Listen to this.
But he does have some videotapes of some stuff in the judge's chambers.
What kind of stuff?
Just with girls sexual and stuff.
What describe? Have you seen the video?
I've seen one partly, just him having sex with girls for to be able to get out of jail.
Who was having sex?
Ben and just some higher ups up there.
Who?
The judge and.
You saw the video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did you see on the video? I mean,
I've seen Judge Mullen having sex with a girl.
Who was the girl?
I don't know, because I don't know a lot of people from over there.
Where was it at?
In his office, in the judge's chambers.
Is that the same place that you were meeting Ben? Is that how you know it was the judge's chambers? And this was Judge who?
Mullins.
So what's interesting is there was this federal lawsuit. There were these interviews done. There was that specific interview where the judge was talked about. Okay, investigators knew that there was a woman who said that the judge, that she had thought she had seen video of the judge having sex in the chambers. And what's interesting is back to the grand jury testimony with the sheriff. This actually sort of comes up during the grand jury testimony. And this is another thing that the Sheriff Stein's defense has an issue with. Let me just read you this part from the testimony. One of the jurors says, I have a question. You said ongoing lawsuit against the sheriff's office. So this had come up. And then the prosecutor said, yes. And then the juror asked, did Judge Mullins have any relation to that case in any way? So the juror was smart enough to ask about that. And the response was no. That the answer was no. To your knowledge, was Judge Mullins involved? And the detective says, no. To my knowledge, no involvement. And then the prosecutor says, to your knowledge, was Judge Mullins involved? And the detective says, no. To my knowledge, no involvement, which again is just kind of interesting when you go back to that audio clip that I just played. I don't know if the detective had never heard that audio clip or what, but the judge was a part of that investigation. It's right there in that audio clip. He was pulled in some way. And from our sources, the sheriff was potentially concerned about having to give a deposition related to what the judge knew about all of this. So interesting getting to read the grand jury transcripts. Again, very, very rare. And also interesting when you compare all of this to what I was told by Taya Adams, who is the woman who I interviewed when I went to Letcher County, Kentucky, who told me she personally had sex with the judge in the chambers
From the
countless
age of
times to
16.
get out of trouble. And I just want to remind you a little bit of what she said, because then you can kind of see how that connects into this bigger puzzle of everything else that's come out. Listen again to a little bit of what Taya said. So what was your first interaction with the judge?
I knew him before because my sister worked for the Commonwealth Attorney for a really long time. Like I grew up in his office and stuff. So whenever he got elected to be Commonwealth Attorney, and we moved over into City Hall, and then Kevin was the assistant Commonwealth Attorney, and his office was like across the road from it. And I was kind of like informal intern in there, like learning office management and stuff. And I went over to his office to learn how to take a deposition. And that was the first interaction that I had with him as far as the sex and stuff goes.
What happened?
I gave him oral with my shirt pulled down, and whenever we were done, he threw money in my face, told me to clean myself up.
What an
and reminded
asshole.
me that I knew better than to tell my sister.
And what was his job at that time?
Assistant Commonwealth Attorney. And we would do sex parties and perform shows and have sex with them for money, things like that.
Where were the parties?
Various places. There are different cabins. There's an apartment down like toward Thornton that they would use that's got like mirrored ceilings and a bidet and a sex swing and all the things.
Did you feel like you could say no?
No, and they would make sure to make you feel as small and degraded and belittled as possible to take your power away, you know?
What sort of things would they do?
But also, like, I have to say, like, we were having fun too, you know, like we were doing drugs, we was doing coke, doing a lot of cocaine, partying, you know, like it wasn't like they were just like, they weren't raping like physically, like, you know, what people think about when they hear the word rape. It was consensual. But it was the thing that we were so young, and then they used it against us and to destroy our lives later.
How so?
And it makes sense. It all makes sense.
And CPS, systematically removing your whole life, piece by piece.
Did they ever tell you that you couldn't say anything?
Yeah. I mean, that was just a given, you know. And like, who would believe it anyway? Because the whole town's doing it, you know. Nobody cares. They're all swingers. It's all a big party to them. It was just like so normal.
Did you ever have sex with him after he became judge?
Yeah.
When he was the judge?
Yes. I've had sex with him in the chambers. I've had sex with him upstairs.
You had sex in the chambers?
Yes.
How did that?
It was not the room that's on film. That's on where that camera is, where the murder and stuff happened. That's not the room that was always the chambers. I don't know. Like, I think it might be behind that where it was, but there was like a different desk and everything in there. That's not the same room.
And how did that happen?
What?
The sex in the chambers. And
we would just like, sometimes we'd just go over there and hang out, and he'd be like, just hang out. Let me go sit on the bench for a while. I'll be in a minute. You know, and everybody would come back there and smoke and stuff after. The girls who, they would bring them up from the jail for the house arrest people and stuff. They would have sex all over the place with them too.
From the jail?
Yeah.
Were you ever there when that happened?
Yeah.
You saw it?
Yeah. I knew the girls personally. Yeah. They were my friends and family. They were the people that we lived with on the streets.
So they would
The
bring
other ones that they've done the same thing to and taken their kids and slammed them and put them with all these big crazy charges.
So, I mean, you're saying it like it's so normal, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
So the judge would have sex with inmates from the jail,
Yes.
and you saw it.
Yes. I was part of it. I was one of them. Not just from being in jail, like coming in off the street and seeing them. Yeah.
How did they keep it a secret?
It wasn't a secret. Wasn't a secret.
Nope, I didn't need to.
Why did you feel like you had to have sex with the judge?
Because he's the one with the power. He holds my entire life in his hands. He's the one that makes the decisions over whether I get to keep my children or not. He's the one that makes the decisions on whether I go to jail or whether I get a, like they would drug test me all the time and I would pass it and social services would come in and say like, no, she failed it. And I would have to make them lab it every time because I wasn't failing it. That was the one good thing that Kevin did for me when my twins, we fought for them for months, finally got them back in the home. Social services was so harassing and so bad that he called her out in court. He said, that's enough. He said, you have taken this too far and I'm reporting you to Frankfurt. And he called the ombudsman, contacted me and to supposedly open an investigation against the child services here. And I never heard nothing about it.
Did the judge ever say, you have to do this, or if you do this,
you come see me 3 times and we'll take care of this. If it's a ticket or something, you know, or you get some minor charge, some petty charge.
I like her comment.
Come visit me a few times. We'll take care of it.
I like her comment in this. Brian asked her, you know, how long have you been doing this and or whatever? I can't remember what he said. And she says something like, have you seen my file?
You would say that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
And how many women do you think were also doing this?
Total over the years, hundreds. Yeah.
Oh.
And not just for the women who had charges. Like if your man or somebody, your child is in there, then you could go see him for that too.
And everybody knew this was going on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what did you think when the sheriff killed the judge? When
my
you found
heart
out?
just like exploded.
They can't ignore it anymore.
Relief.
Oh my God. Hamstrings.
I thought finally somebody is going to see this because now they can't look away. They have to look. They have to see what's happening here. And then it's been all this time and still not seeing anything happening, you know. Nobody's saying anything. People have been making videos and coming out with their story for a long time, but they're being retaliated against to the point that they're leaving this. They've had to pack up and leave homes that they own and leave the state and go rent somewhere else because they've ran them out of town.
Do you feel nervous talking about this? Have you been retaliated against?
I'm a little bit nervous, but I also know that God's got this, you know, and that our kids, I don't want our kids to have to grow up in this town like it has been for us. Because once they get their hooks in you, they never let you go. You don't get to live. You don't get to choose your life. You don't choose your own path. They do that for you.
Has anyone tried to intimidate you into not talking?
Like comments on Facebook and yes, a lot of victim blaming, shaming, stuff like that, petty stuff. But then also we had the message from the jailer's sister that said that they started it, she's going to finish it. And she's on Facebook like slandering Liz, saying she went through like hours of footage to catch a freeze frame of her eye like glitching like in the middle of a blink or something and put it on there on Facebook. Look, she's high. We need to call CPS to come take her kids. And that's how it happens. They'll call CPS on you and then they will take your children unfounded for nothing, for no reason. Or like in my case, the court ordered me to take Suboxone and then showed up at the hospital when I gave birth to take my child because she had Suboxone in her system. She had Subutex in her system. They said my prescription wasn't valid. It was. My clinic had closed like a couple weeks before I went into labor, but I still had a whole month's prescription for that month with pills left over that I hadn't even taken yet. And that was their grounds for taking her.
How many times would you say you had sex with the judge in the courthouse?
Countless.
Countless.
Or sexual relations of some sort. Yeah.
I mean, if you had to put a number on it.
Oh. I don't know. Have you seen my record? A long one.
And basically,
He's been part of every charge I've ever had.
and when you would get a charge, what would he say?
He'd laugh at me, tell me come see him. We'll get it figured out or whatever. But he never did. He ended up just like slamming me. They slammed me with all them other crazy charges there at the end. Like once they were done with me, I think that they got scared. And something about it is they don't like for us to get sober. When we get sober, we start to heal and we start to speak on who hurt us. And they don't like that. So they'll send people out to relapse you and pull you back into their nonsense.
Do you know why the sheriff killed the judge?
I don't, but I have my own suspicions and beliefs.
What do you think?
I think that he's seen that nothing was ever going to stop. Nothing was ever going to change unless something big happened. I don't know what it was that triggered him to actually do that. Like, I don't know. I couldn't say. But knowing everything, and then if you notice, they put that charge on Ben Fields, right? Like he's the only one or something. And Mickey ended up getting named in a lawsuit for not doing anything about it or not properly training them. So I wonder, like, if he was like this is so far out of my hands, what am I supposed to do? It's like all these people here that have evidence, like physical evidence of all these horrible things that they've done to them, are just hiding it because there's nobody to give it to. Like what, you know?
What do you think of? I mean, what do you make of the sheriff? What is his sort of reputation?
He's got a good reputation. He was well respected. He was always good to me, fair, firm. You know, he'd take you to jail and stuff, but he wasn't like a groper and raper and stuff like the other ones. And he was always good to me.
Did he know about everything going on?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it bothered him. Like, I really do. Because I asked for house arrest. I kept asking over and over. I kept saying, Nikki, please let me go on house arrest. Like, this is crazy. And you know these charges on me are crazy. So every time I'd get him in the elevator, take him to court, I'd beg him. He'd say, well, we'll see. We'll see. And then he never would put me on the list. And it makes me wonder why now.
Did anything ever happen to you in the jail?
Yeah.
I mean, because you talk about having sex with the judge, but that was mostly when you were out, right? Mm-hmm. Trying to avoid.
Yeah.
But what about when you were in jail?
Yeah, the jail workers and stuff, a lot of them, they would come up to the doors, stuff, they want to see your titties. They want you to come up so they can put their hands in the beanhole and touch you, things like that. There was like this old stairwell in the middle of the jail across from the med room. Like they would take girls in there and stuff sometimes.
How do all these officials get away with this?
They run it all. They run it all. Their rehab programs and stuff, they're all in it together. They all got their hands in it. The drug court, they just keep extending your sentence, extending your sentence. How is that? Do you know what happened with my case? We had the fight. They charged us with unlawful imprisonment in a holding cell beside the booking desk. They charged us with unlawful imprisonment, which is kidnapping. That's the charge that stuck. And they told me I had 7.5 years total. I get to prison and get my time sheet. I had 12.5 years. So I went and sent legal aid. They said, once the final judgment is filed, there's nothing else that you can do. It's final. So I did my time. I made parole upon completion. I did all their programs and stuff that I was eligible to do. And when I got out, they tried to make me to go to drug court. They tried to add drug court onto my sentence. And I threw a fit. I said, no, this is not right. And this was not part of the plea deal. And y'all already screwed me and gave me 5 extra years anyway. We're not doing this. My parole officer went back in his office, and he came back out and said, well, they agreed that if you would do aftercare for 6 months, that you don't have to go to drug court. So I did their aftercare. I did their MRT classes, anger management, parenting, you name it, I did it. I served out. I went to go get my gold seal. I was so excited and so proud that I accomplished it and that I was done. I finished it, you know, like I've worked so hard my whole life just to get out from under this place. Finished it. I go in to get my gold seal, my certificate, and he says, the state says they're not going to release you because of your child support until it's paid in full. That just destroyed me. That crushed me. And I still didn't know like what Cool had said for a while after that. Like that's a more recent development when I got on there and seen that I'm on parole till 2099. And I've been trying to find somebody from the outside for a while to look at this case, like, because nothing about it is right.
So for people who aren't from here, I mean, there's obviously a lot of people on drugs or have been on drugs.
Yes.
Does that just make them vulnerable to this whole system.
It does, and they use it. They start giving you drugs as a minor. Like, so you're already addicted. You're already addicted. So they use that to keep control over you.
Do you think
it's diabolical?
Do you think they think, oh, no one will listen to these people because they have records, they have been on drugs?
And that's why they want to keep us messed up and, you know, out of it. So we don't have any credibility. Yeah.
So again, that was Taya Adams. That was a story she told. I'm told that there are other alleged victims who want to speak but are scared because they're still in living in the county there and worried about what might happen. I do plan to make another trip out there, though, to get more of their stories. And that's really the latest. That's the latest that's came out of this new grand jury transcript, and the latest filing from the defense trying to throw out the charges because saying that the grand jury wasn't given all the information, which is what I just went through. So it'll be interesting to see how the judge rules on that. And I continue to get tips on this case, so I'll keep you guys posted. I'm sure I'm going to be doing a lot more episodes on it. Thank you guys so much for checking this one out. Please click to subscribe. Thank you for all the support, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Tonight, as you can see, just really within the last couple of hours, I sat down exclusively.
If I mute myself, you know why. Bastards. Yeah. And I've taken one of these, the dissolvable ones, they're effervescent, and they normally work straight away. That got me. Oh, and I can't remember what the fuck I was looking for. I've got. But excuse me. I went looking for some more docs, but there hasn't been any more released that I could find. And this is. So it's Mickey Stein's defense lawyer. His name, Jeremy Bartley, wanting to unseal the psych evaluation and present expert evidence relating to mental disease or defect at this bond hearing that they're requesting. So that's their official filing, and they've officially filed the notice to the court of their intent to claim the insanity defense. But yeah, they really wanted to get that grand jury testimony because that particular deputy Stamper had apparently said in there that Mickey was fine. So I don't know what's up next. I am keeping my ear to the ground. Oh. What's his name? Can't think of his fucking name now. That's awful. Oh God, Tony DeWitt. Sorry, he's also discussing the Donna Adelson. Let me share this. So Tony's got one out in the middle there. Donna Adelson. Anyone watching the Samantha Krebs Kiss and Kill? I've been watching these. They're amazing. Amazing. The cheerleaders. It's just. And then I got on to Judge Fletcher. I haven't watched him for a while. I got on to what's Hillbilly Crime got? The Jail Muff Diver and the Birds. Sorry. Uh-huh. Okay. I might have to watch that. How do you talk for 2 hours about a muff diver? Yeah, the other one I was watching was this guy here. He he pretends he's a cleaner, and he's like a gymnast, and he pretends he cleans at the gym and does all these pranks. It's really funny. Pretends he's an old man. They were good. So I don't even think there's any. Oh, there you go. 10 ways I know Wendi Adelson is guilty of the death of Dan Markel. That's Samantha Beningo. That's probably worth a watch right there. So yes, I'm going to give her an email because I really, really, really want her to do a comparison with me on assessing Donna and Jose Menendez and the effects that their personalities, their parenting style, their treatment of their children influenced their behavior. Yeah. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. I will keep my ear to the ground on Mickey Steins, and I will hopefully be able to finish off the Donna trial. I might be very small recaps. There was another trial I came up against yesterday. What was it called? It wasn't on the mainstream stuff. It was Austin Drummond, Tennessee quadruple killer. That, I mean, it won't be anything until probably the end of next year, but yes. He's had 2 accomplices. He killed 4 people, apparently. And there must have been a manhunt for him. And I don't know if anyone saw. I actually haven't seen it this morning, but I did put it in Discord for everyone. Aaron Patterson's sentencing happened this morning, and they are putting out a docuseries about her. I think it's a 3-part docuseries. Let's have a look. What a sentence.
Please stand.
33 to 36 years.
For the attempted murder of Ian Wilkinson, I sentence you to 25 years imprisonment. For the murder of Heather Wilkinson, I sentence you to life imprisonment. For the murder of Gail Patterson, I sentence you to life imprisonment.
So not
for the murder of
consecutive,
Don Patterson, I sentence you to life imprisonment. All sentences are to be served concurrently.
Told you.
The total effective sentence is life imprisonment, and I fix a non-parole period of 33 years.
Yep. Told you.
I declare that you have served 676 days by way of pre-sentence detention.
Oh, you get credit for that.
Finally,
fuck off.
And by consent, I make the disposal order sought by the prosecution. Would you please remove Ms. Patterson?
So, Australian law. She got 33 years, not consecutive, concurrent, 33 years in total. We don't, apparently Victoria have banned the without parole. So they are all eligible for parole. For killing 3 people and attempting to kill the 4th person. Now, you stack that up against anyone in America that deliberately killed or tried to kill 4 people and succeeded out of 3 of them. And it's all come out now that there was 3 prior attempts at her poisoning her husband. Prior to that event, there was 3 of them. That's all come out since, because they had a gag order on everything. So once she was found guilty, yeah, everything came out. So yes, so that docuseries, I think it was. That's what I was looking up. I knew I was looking up something until that fucking crab got me. I will stream it via Discord. I think it was on ABC. They were advertising it today. Oops. God damn it. Didn't mean to click.
You're with ABC News. It's 9 a.m. Eastern. We are live to Melbourne this hour, where convicted triple murderer Erin Patterson will be sentenced for killing 3 relatives with poisonous death cap mushrooms.
Yeah. Does it sound funny hearing Aussie news? Where is it? Claire Harvey. She's been around a while. She's one of our reporters. Oh, Ian must have done a victim impact statement. 60 minutes. Christ almighty. How much shit is on there? That's it. There it is. Full documentary. Inside the mind of a killer. What? No. That's not it. That's 7 News. I'll find it. And I'll let you know, and we'll watch it together. Ow. Alrighty. Let's get rid of that. Ew. Don't like that. Alrighty. I have absolutely no fucking idea what or where I'm going with tomorrow's stream, but I will pull something out of the hat. Don't you worry about that. I'm actually enjoying this deep dive into the Sherriff case. So I'll see where it takes me. Right, yeah? It's taking me to bed. Fred? Okay. If you can't be good at it. Don't work too hard out in the sun today, Tricia. Elizabeth, go and be naughty for me. And I'll see you when I'm looking at you. Hasta la vista, bitches. Bye-bye.
Hey there, thanks for stopping in. We hope you will join us again. We all look forward to next time we get to talk about true crime. Clues. Justice served in an honest fight. True crime tales till the verdict's right. Solving more than just trivial quests, where sentences rule and the defense rests. Our true crime family is great. All types of topics we debate. Smash that like and ring that bell. Hit subscribe, you might as well.